Hello guys and girls. Today we are going to go through some important ReactJS interview questions. This video is based on a top MNC interview questions that was sent to me by one of my subscribers. By going through this, you will gain extra knowledge on how to answer if you face similar questions in your interviews. Please subscribe to my channel for more such informative videos. That being said, let's process the questions. First question, what is the difference between a BR tag and a BR with a slash tag? Technically, both BR and BR slash tags works with the same, which provides a blank line in HTML markup. But in JSX, my component slash, as you can see, alone is valid while my component without a slash is int. All tags must be closed. That is the condition for JSX syntax, either with the self-closing format or with a corresponding close tag, which is slash my component. Hence, we need to use BR with a self-closing tag in ReactJS. That is the answer, okay? What is generator function? Regular functions return only one single value or nothing. Generators can return yield, multiple values, one after the other on demand. They work great with iterables, allowing to create data streams with ease. So how do we define a generator function? It is defined as function with a star and generate sequence, whatever name you can call it. And within the braces, you have to put yield 1, yield 2, yield 3, yield 4, etc. and finally a return. So the thing is that if you want to understand more on generator function, please check up more informative videos about it so that you will understand it more better. But I am sticking to answering the interview questions, okay? Number 3, how is Redux managed with hooks? Redux used action creators, reducers, action types that link action creators and reducers, then to a common reducer, and finally to a store. Redux does the state management for ReactJS application. Inside any component we use dispatch hook to dispatch actions as needed, use selector hook to extract data from the Redux store state using this selector function. So in order to understand more on this, you can Google for Redux and such technical details, okay? Basically, we use dispatch and use selector hook for Redux state management. What is stop propagation? Stop propagation method provides a method to prevent propagation of the same event from being called. Propagation means bubbling up to parent elements or capturing down to child elements. So how do we define a simple event propagation method? Function with a function1 event, alert division, event dot stop propagation. That's how we call the stop propagation. So what is meant by bubbling and all, I am going to take up in the next few questions. So keep following, okay? What is bubbling? Event bubbling is a way of event propagation in the HTML DOM. It relates to the order in which events are propagated in nested elements. So in bubbling, when an event happens, the handler of the innermost element, you can see here, the child, runs, then the parents, and then the ancestors. In other words, events bubble up or propagate the DOM tree upwards. This is called the DOM tree upwards. So starting with what event was being clicked or generated, the event gets propagated to the parent, then to the ancestor. That's how we do it. So that is called bubbling. So it's a process, the event goes up to the ancestor level, that's called bubbling in simple words. What is event prevent default? As an example, the default behavior of an HTML form element is to submit the contents of that form to a server, process them there, and then load a new HTML page with the result. So if you would have written a Laravel server-side script or a Django server-side script without any front-end technologies, then you would have observed such type of behavior, which is called the default behavior of the HTML form. Since we are instead processing the form in our client-side application code, we want to prevent this default behavior and then show the result from our JavaScript code that could have been fetched from the server through an API call. We would also reset the form after success on data fetch. So we need event prevent default to happen for the client to serve the data after it fetched the data from the server. So that is why we use event prevent default. What is props drilling? Props drilling, or otherwise it's called threading, refers the process you have to go through to get data to parse the React component tree. This picture is very illustrative and self-illustrative, which is giving illustration on the prop drilling concept. You can see here, this is the way the prop is called to be drilled. For example, this is the data layer where we have the data. Maybe an API call would have got the data, but this component needs the data to do some, maybe triggering some events or show some data in its own component. So what happens is this whole data, this data has to be passed through all these components. So probably these components would not have been using this data also. There is another technical details here. But this green marked one is using this data from here. So all down it's being drilled towards the component. That's called props drilling. So the next question is, what are the tools to reduce prop drilling burden? Context API and Redux state management tools are very good tools to do a good state management and helps in the level or layer of prop drilling. That means this component, if it subscribes to the state through the Redux, it will pull the data or it will push its own data to the state and not depend on this whole prop drilling. So this architecture is no more needed if we use a context API or Redux state management system. So with that, guys, a quick shot of some of the important questions that you may face in a React front end and also maybe a full stack interview. I have presented to you with relevant answers, which are point-to-point answers. You can further study in more details about all these by understanding more technical illustrations. So keep watching my video channel, keep subscribing, and then you will see more interesting videos coming along which may be helpful for your present or future needs. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day and bye-bye.